Bonjour tout le monde. Merci de nous avoir invités ici aujourd'hui.
Good day, everyone. Thank you for inviting us here today. I would like to inform you that this presentation is available in French. You can ask your questions in English or French, and I shall be happy to reply in the language of your choice.
This is Neil Glassberg, and I am here today in my capacity as the interim president and CEO of Special Olympics Canada. On behalf of our movement, I'd like to recognize the important work being done and being undertaken by each of you, the members of this committee. I would also like to thank you for this opportunity to share remarks about Special Olympics Canada's efforts to enrich the lives of people with an intellectual disability through sport. I'm joined this afternoon by my colleague Sharon Bolenbach, our Vice President of Sport, and Special Olympics athlete Christina Judd-Campbell. You will have the fortune of hearing from Ms. Judd-Campbell shortly. One of the movement's many ambassadors, Christina, will share her views on the role that this incredible sport movement has played in her life. As a chapter within the larger global movement, Special Olympics Canada has come a long way since it began almost 42 years ago in 1969. Then, one single competition attracted 1,400 individuals with an intellectual disability. Today, more than 34,000 children, youth, and adults with an intellectual disability are registered in Special Olympics programs which run out of local sport clubs in hundreds of Canadian communities literally every day of the week. In particular, there are currently 12,639 children and youth enrolled in our programs. From St. John's to Victoria to Whitehorse, the reach of our grassroots movement is profound, and the benefits to its clients and those that matter most to them is undeniable. Special Olympics was founded upon one simple notion: sport has an incredible opportunity to make lives better, change attitudes, and make communities stronger. Sport is our movement's raison d'etre, and our mission is to enrich the lives of individuals with an intellectual disability through sport. In the 1960s, a Canadian researcher by the name of Dr. Frank Hayden clearly demonstrated the connection between regular activity and levels of physical fitness among children. His findings ultimately questioned the mindset of the day, one that claimed that it was the disability that prevented people with an intellectual disability from fully participating in play and recreation. Conversely, Dr. Hayden showed that it was really the lack of opportunity to participate that caused their fitness levels to suffer. Given the opportunity, these children could become physically fit and acquire the necessary skills to participate in sport. Today, there are about 1 million Canadians living with an intellectual disability. Its frequency is about 2% of the general population, and it cuts across all socioeconomic lines. While heredity will account for a fraction of cases of intellectual disability, in 3/4 of cases the specific cause is unknown. About 87% of all people with an intellectual disability would be categorized as mild, and in many respects are indistinguishable from people who do not have an intellectual disability. I would like to cite two other statistics. 77% of Canadians with an intellectual disability live in poverty, and through the research arm of Special Olympics North America, we have determined that 5 in 10 Special Olympics athletes hold jobs. This surpasses the average of 1 in 10. They are working people who pay taxes, contributing to the growth of their communities. Clearly, the impact of Special Olympics can be felt even off the field of play. Specifically, in the category of children and youth, we have made significant strides in several areas. First, we are successfully rolling out 2 key programs, Active Start and Fundamentals, across the country for children and youth ages 2 to 12. I must take a moment to acknowledge the generous support of our national government in this regard. For this budget year, we received financial support of $500,000 to specifically assist in the implementation of these programs and to increase their accessibility by Canadians who would benefit by being registered in them. The first 2 phases of Sport Canada's long-term athlete development model, Active Start and Fundamentals, seek to increase a child's fundamental motor skills and to build physical literacy. Receiving early instruction in basic motor skills like walking, running, jumping, and balancing, and having the opportunity to experience play will improve the child's physical, social, and cognitive abilities in everyday activities and in the long term. We also continue to place emphasis on our strong tradition of research by funding studies that examine the role of sport in the development of those with an intellectual disability. For example, I should highlight a current study by Dr. Megan Lloyd, who is examining the impact of sports specifically in children and youth. Research is critical in the development of our programs. Several research studies are currently posted on our website. Finally, we have developed a unique coaching program that complements the National Coaching Certification Program. It specifically aims to sensitize our volunteer coaches to working with children, youth, and adults with an intellectual disability who have their own unique set of needs. I would also like to acknowledge that along with our provincial and territorial counterparts, we continue to work extensively with various levels of government. We also collaborate with national sport organizations to enhance their understanding of our movement and how children, youth, and adults with an intellectual disability can be integrated. Examples of successful partnerships include Athletics Canada, Skate Canada, and Swimming Canada, and the Canada Games. With their support, Special Olympics athletes have enjoyed the opportunity for enhanced training and competition at this national competition for 11 years now. Lastly, I would be remiss if I did not note the private sector's support of our movement. We are extremely fortunate to have the long-standing support of many of Canada's leading companies and their employees. Through them, we raise awareness and funds that enable us to continue delivering on our mission. Before I introduce Christina, I would like to close by stressing that for individuals with an intellectual disability, Special Olympics is often the only place where they have an opportunity to participate in their communities and to develop a strong belief in themselves. For many, Special Olympics is a gateway to empowerment, competence, acceptance, and self-esteem. Without question, our greatest success lies at the grassroots level. Our sport movement is there to serve the needs of this disability population, from its very youngest to its more mature, from the individual who will stay active for life, regularly participating in sport at his or her local club, through to the athlete who will advance and compete at national and international competitions. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Ms. Christina Judd-Campbell, an exceptional athlete from Ottawa, who joins us today to share her story.
My name is Christina Judd-Campbell. I am presently the Canadian Special Olympics Rhythmic Gymnastics champion. I have been selected as a member of Team Canada for the Special Olympics 2011 World Games, Summer Games in Athens, Greece. I also represented Canada at the 2007 World Games in Shanghai, China, where I was the only athlete from any other country to defeat the Chinese rhythmic gymnast. I have an intellectual disability. I am 23 years old. I read at the grade 4 level and do math at the grade 3 level. I came into the Campbell family as a foster child when I was 7 years old. For many years, I really struggled. Outside my brothers and sisters, I did not really have any friends, and I had not found anything that I liked or was good at. But my life changed when I joined Special Olympics Rhythmic Gymnastics. I was 14 years old. My successes in rhythmic gymnastics showed me that if I work hard, I could become very good at something. I became more confident and proud of myself. I now lead a very busy and full life. I train for rhythmic gymnastics almost every day. I have a part-time job at Staples, a few blocks from here. Monday to Friday mornings, I'm at Algonquin College in a special program. About once a month, I give speech or demonstrations about Special Olympics. I have many friends that I see regularly, and I also take riding lessons and take care of my 3 horses. Special Olympics helps give children and youth with an intellectual disability greater opportunity to reach their full potential by starting at a younger age, just like I did. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you very much, Christina. Very, very well said and very appropriate. My final comments are to mention that we did have an opportunity to present to the Standing Committee on Finance in late October of last year, and very much valued the opportunity to speak with that committee's members. In closing, we ask for your continuing support of the Special Olympics within the new budget 2 weeks away, and thank you very much for your time.